Hey everyone, welcome to episode 1 of season 2 of the Pantydeal podcast. We're very, very, very excited to have you all here. My name's Kat. I'm your new podcast host for this next season. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, by the way. It's been a long time since we've been here. Now, the topic of this podcast is how to boost your sales when you think you're done. Yeah, so it's for all you sellers out there who've maybe you feel like you've been in the game too long, you feel like you're losing touch, you feel like your business is dwindling. Whatever, if that sounds like you, keep listening because we've got loads of great tips and advice coming up. Loads of good stuff. So the next season for the Pantydeal podcast, we're going to talk about, loads more really, really great things. We're going to have loads more interviews with sellers, with buyers, with real people who we're interested in. We're going to really talk about different points of view. And we're going to talk more broadly about sexuality and about fetishes, about the used panty business, because, obviously it's normal to have loads of questions about this type of thing. But we just want to clarify any doubts you might have. So as always, send us questions, check out the magazine, check out our YouTube channel. There's always really, really great stuff on there, really good advice. If you have any questions, just email us. We're always here to help. So back to the podcast specifically, how to boost your sales when you think you're done. Maybe you're a seller. Maybe you've been doing this for years. Maybe you thought you knew what you were doing for a while. Who knows? But your bank account's suffering, you're out of ideas, you're not attracting any buyers. The panty selling business can definitely be a tough one, but it would also be a mistake to leave it because honestly, the only thing that it really takes to make sales again is just a change. It's just an update, it's just a renewal, just to try some new things. So in this episode, we're going to talk about the best ways for you to do this, starting with, might sound cliche, but it works, starting with self-love, and also all the ways you can revitalize your panty selling persona, how to improve your profile, how to improve your photos, how to chat with buyers in the best way possible, and also how to use all of the channels and resources that are available to you to really put yourself out there in the business. And there's loads of them, and maybe you haven't tried them, and maybe now's the time to try them. So step 1, rediscover your self-love. So the way to start over is it's finding love in yourself again. It's feeling confident again. It's feeling good about yourself again. Because only once you do that can you present the most confident and amazing self you can on your profile. And that's always going to attract buyers. Everyone's attracted by confidence. It's always the best way to start. We recommend, taking a day for you, whatever makes you feel good about yourself, physically, emotionally, mentally, everything. Maybe you could change your hair, maybe go for a run, or go for a walk, have a spa day, even just a home spa day, maybe buy some new makeup, try it on, take some photos, show off a little bit, and also just be around people who make you feel good about yourself, be around those friends that make you feel amazing and confident, and that's always going to be great. You need to tap into that feeling again. When you're feeling sexually confident in your body, in your looks, and just in yourself, you're going to be way more susceptible to enjoying the attention from buyers that you get on Pantydeal. And feel like you deserve that attention. You'll be more likely to feel like you want to chat to buyers. You'll be more likely to take better photos of yourself for your profile, all that type of thing. That's really, really important for this business. Also, on a side note, if you go out and buy some amazing underwear, try it on, and trust us, the moment you try it on, you're going to see how amazing you look at it. And you're just going to definitely want to show it off. I think we've all been there, and it's wonderful. New underwear is and always will be a source of inspiration. Full stop. Sometimes it's normal to feel burned out in this kind of business. You're a little bit like, and maybe you're feeling strange about it. There's always a risk, of course. Maybe a buyer will ask you to do something or send something or take a photo or something that maybe you're not comfortable with. That's normal. But again, like we say, it's important to just do only what you're comfortable with. Don't let anyone push you too far. Don't pretend to be someone you're not either. If you're a naturally dominant woman, then that's what you should portray. That's who you should be. Don't take the submissive role. And the other way around, a surefire way to want to leave the business and not feel good about yourself is by letting someone put you down, or make you do something that you're not comfortable with. So, learn where those boundaries are for yourself, know what you're comfortable with, what you're happy with, put those up, and then keep running your business. And this links really nicely into our second big tip, because maybe it's easy to forget with this type of thing, with selling your underwear, that it is a business. So it's super important always to market yourself properly, because you're selling a brand. And maybe when you first joined Pantydeal, you thought, I'll just wear underwear, take some photos, sell them. But it is a lot more than that, and it can be more complex, but it's also more exciting because you get to experiment. You get to experiment with your brand. Our next tip is to maybe update your panty selling persona, and by that we mean the kind of personality that you're portraying on your profile. Because again, always be yourself, of course, but it really helps for buyers to want to buy from you if you have a selling point, and obviously take that only from what feels natural to you. So if your selling point is maybe you're older, maybe you fit into more of a MILF category, maybe you're sexy, maybe you're dangerous, sporty, maybe you're more sophisticated, maybe you're dominant, maybe you're submissive, maybe you're super feminine, maybe you're a little bit masculine, whatever you feel like your category, your look is, really play with that, follow that on your profile, because there's going to be a buyer out there who's looking for someone exactly like you, exactly in that category. So it really, really helps to monopolize on those features that you probably naturally have. And just go for it and be a bit out there and be a bit playful, because, you're anonymous on this website. So you can kind of have fun and, if you wanted, you could create a whole fantasy role for yourself. Just go a bit crazy and see how that goes. You have nothing to lose. So you're probably wondering how and in what ways can you spice up your profile? Can you spice up and make this kind of persona on your profile? We have some tips for that. So the first thing is to focus on is your photos, the pictures you upload, because when a buyer is scrolling on Pantydeal, the photos are the first thing they're going to see, and it's the first thing that's going to make them want to, click on you, click on your profile, and maybe purchase from you. So they are super, super, super important. So to create really good photos, maybe you take selfies a lot, maybe you take nudes a lot. Yeah, but maybe you're a bit shy, whatever, it's all normal. But maybe start by just watching some tutorials on how to take good photos, how to take good selfies. Maybe have a look at your old photos and see what's wrong. Maybe the composition's a bit wrong. Maybe they're a bit dark, maybe they're a bit blurry, whatever. Photos that have the best quality, they are going to look more professional. And the buyer is probably going to be more inclined to buy from a photo and from a buyer who has more thought out photos than someone who doesn't. You could find out a new space in your house to take photos. You could even just play around with, some filters, some fun filters or some fun edits, anything like that, to kind of make you stand out and make you seem like you're taking your business more seriously. Phones have every feature these days. Probably, I couldn't even name them all, but go ahead, take some photos, edit them, see how you feel. And also, super important to explore all the angles of your body that a camera can take. You can use self-timer, maybe get a friend round to take some photos of yourself. Honestly, when it comes to nudes or pictures of panties, there is honestly just endless possibilities about how you can make those photos interesting. Move your body around in different ways, maybe research poses you can do, research angles you can take it from. A great way is to always just ask your friends, how do they take nudes? How do they take photos? How do they know what angle works for them? Your body's going to be different, of course, but just experiment and find out what works for you. And linking that back to our first point, once you've kind of figured out a kind of persona you want, you can really relate that to your photos. So maybe your persona is that you're quite outdoorsy. Why don't you just go outdoors and take some amazing photos out there of you, in some gorgeous pants in the countryside, whatever. That's going to make you really stand out. If you're a cute persona, think about how you can move your body to make yourself look cuter. Or if you're more dominant, what kind of things can you wear, or what kind of camera angles can really show you off in that way, in the way that you want to be perceived. Yeah, it's really fun. There's loads and loads of possibilities. The one thing to remember is that a picture doesn't have to be just you in your underwear. It can honestly be anything. Look around your house, look around your room, see what kind of props you have. Maybe you have a blindfold, maybe you have a scarf, maybe you have some other kind of kinky items of clothing, or objects or props, or any kind of cute outfit that's just gonna portray you in the best way and make you stand out. Just experiment, just go crazy, take some photos, see what works. You don't have to upload all of them. You can upload your favorites, of course. Watch those buyers come rolling in. So another really important part about your profile is your bio. So that's the written description of yourself on your profile. So after browsing, buyers will click on your photo, go on your profile, they'll read your bio, and they'll see what they have in common with you, maybe who you are. They'll try and gauge your personality from that, as well as your photos. So it's super important to be quite detailed in your bio. Describe your looks, in detail, describe your personality, maybe describe what you like to do sexually, but also just in your everyday life, describe your hobbies. Like we said, it's all about connection with that buyer. It's also important to write, to include what you offer, what you're willing to offer. Maybe why you like the panty selling business. Maybe what turns you on. What's your niche, whatever. It's important to be friendly and to be fun and approachable, but also to be professional, so buyers know that they can trust you. Because again, it's a business transaction they want to make with you, so they want to make sure that they get the product that they want if they choose to buy from you. It's also important to include a list of prices of your products and services, that maybe extra services you want to offer. Just let your imagination fly. If you're feeling a bit stuck for ideas, have a look at other sellers' profiles, because there's girls out there who are doing really amazing stuff. Yeah, have a look around, get some ideas, but also always remember, don't ever copy a bio, because what's going to make you stand out is originality, always. And this loops very nicely into our next point, which is to work on your business strategy, basically self-marketing. Like we said, you are a business, you're your own business, so you need to be able to market yourself in just the best way possible. And like we said, maybe you didn't think of it as a proper business when you started, but it really is. So in relation to other businesses, it's the same principles apply. You need to put yourself out there, make yourself visible to your customers, draw them in somehow, whatever. A great way to do this, which maybe lots of people don't really think about when it comes to selling underwear, is to do promotions. So if you've done some before, maybe you can think about what went well, in terms of your promotions, maybe what didn't go well, what you tried. Again, have a look at other sellers, see what kind of promotions they're doing, and even just look around at other businesses, shops, just get inspiration from that. You can always do a simple buy one get one free type thing. Seasonal sales are great. Maybe you can do a special Christmas sales, Christmas underwear, anything like that. Although Christmas is a very long time away now. Maybe a Valentine's Day thing would be great, an Easter thing. You could do whatever. You could do a winter sale, anything that's going to suit you. Again, that's going to make you different, make you stand out, make buyers look at your profile and be interested in you and want to come back. So another great way of self-marketing is to approach buyers, but it's important to do it in the right way, because buyers probably get a lot of messages just saying, hey, or how are you, or whatever, most days from sellers. So if you do it in a different way and you personalize those messages, then they're going to be way more likely to reply to you, way more likely to engage, feel a connection with you, and then purchase from you, which is what we want. Because no buyer wants to feel like they're just one of many, or they're not important. So a great way to do that is to, find a buyer, browse around, maybe check out their profile, because if you have a similar interest or a hobby, ask about that, share your interest. Again, make that connection, establish some kind of relationship. You could ask them if they've tried a certain thing, maybe a certain kinky thing or whatever. Maybe there's something that you specialize in that you know a lot about that you can offer them, ask them about, spark their curiosity a little bit. A good connection with a buyer can create a long-term relationship. And for you as a seller, that can mean, regular income from one person, which is amazing. Another good idea is to go out and find new buyers. So, there's going to be buyers on Pantydeal who are maybe just curious about the fetish but haven't bought anything yet. They might just be experimenting, maybe just goofing around on the site. But if you approach them and say the right thing, they'll be like, okay, this is something I could be serious about. So maybe, again, write them more than a simple just like, hey, or more than just, hey, how are you? You could write a couple of sentences presenting yourself, what you offer, what your personality is, how long you've been in the business. Again, they don't know you yet, so you're establishing a connection. Once you start chatting with a new buyer, maybe it's going well. Again, at some point you can get to asking whether they want to purchase something from you, what they're specifically interested in. Maybe you could, if you're willing to, you can cater something to their needs a little bit. And again, they're going to want to get to know you as a person. If there's someone has a fetish and they're wanting to buy underwear, they're interested in you, the person wearing the underwear, not just the underwear itself. So most buyers do want to chat before making a purchase. So you might have to spend a little bit of time just making some conversation, sat on your laptop. They'll definitely be worth it. But also remember that your time is totally precious, and there might be some buyers out there who just want to chat to you, or maybe, maybe they'll try and get some free sexy talk out of you, whatever, something like that. In which case, if that happens, you can politely say no, politely decline, politely and respectfully just say that it's not a place for chatting. Again, it's your business, and move on from it. Another great way to self-market is to use different channels and different resources. You might not know, we have a lot of social media pages. Yeah, we also have contests, things like that. But there's also things that you can do to promote your own business in terms of social media. Maybe you could create your own Instagram or Twitter account for your Panty seller profile just to get more visibility, just to make people see you. Again, join one of our contests, join one of those. They're really, really fun anyway. But if you make the top 3, you'll be visible to lots of buyers, and your sales are definitely sure to boost. So another really important thing, actually, in order to do all of these tips that we've talked about, is just to make time for your business. We're all busy, we all have busy lives, and we all probably have other jobs, and it can be really hard. But if you don't put time into your Panty business, then it won't go anywhere, and that source of income might be lost. As I said, it's super hard to do that sometimes. So it's important before you start your week to kind of plan when you're going to do different tasks. So maybe you start your week, maybe it's Sunday, you want to write a little list for yourself, a diary. You could say, Tuesday afternoon, I'm going to work on updating my bio. And then Friday morning, I'll spend 2 hours taking photos of myself. Maybe before that, I'll buy some new underwear, buy some new makeup, whatever. Maybe Sunday for 2 hours, I'll message buyers and have some conversation and see how that goes, And then you find yourself 1 week later having done loads of great tasks, and you've made that amazing change to your business that you're going to see results from. And it's going to be great. And it's important in that time to really stick to it and make sure you don't do anything else in that time, because otherwise, it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to want to do other jobs. But if you set aside that time and you're strict with yourself and you organize yourself, it's going to be great. You're going to get loads and loads of stuff done. And that's actually all for our podcast today. Wow, time flies when I'm chatting on and on and on. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. And I really, really hope our tips have been helpful. Our advice has been helpful. As I said, please send us any questions. And let us know any success stories if you use any of our amazing tips to boost your sales. And thank you again for listening. See you next time.